You walk into a house and something happens that makes absolutely no sense. Your heart is racing and your palms start to get sweaty and you can't stop smiling, and you've known this house for exactly 37 seconds, and somehow you're already planning your life here. Hey guys, I'm Adam Stinespring. I'm a realtor here in Lynchburg, and I have watched this happen to hundreds of clients. The moment when logic dies and pure emotion starts to take over. So today, you're going to discover what actually happens in your brain when you fall in love with a house. And warning, it's actually way weirder than you're thinking right now. Because here's what nobody tells you. Your brain literally can't tell a difference between falling in love with a person and falling in love with a house. It's the same exact chemical, the same neural pathways, the same biological hijacking. And once you understand this, you will never see a house the same way again. So let me take you inside of your brain during a house showing. And it's not just the logic part, it goes much, much deeper. We're going way, way deep, the part that makes decisions before you even realize that you are making them. When you walk into a house, your brain does something incredible. In the first 7 seconds, yes, 7 seconds, it runs about 11 million calculations. Is it safe? Could I survive here? Can I thrive here? Your conscious mind might process 40 max of these calculations, but the rest is pure instinct. But sometimes something extraordinary happens. Your amygdala, your brain's alarm system, does something backwards. Instead of scanning for threats, it actually starts scanning for possibilities. Instead of asking, what's going to go wrong? It starts asking, what could go right? And that's when the chemicals start flowing. First comes dopamine, the anticipation chemical. Your brain starts imagining Christmas morning in the living room, or Sunday coffee on the porch, or your kids running around, the stairs. That might terrify you a little bit. Dopamine doesn't care if you have kids. It's already decorating nurseries, right? Then norepinephrine kicks in, which it's the same stuff that happens on like a first date. And that's why your heart starts racing, why you can't stop talking, why you remember everything about that house, even though you forgot where you parked at Walmart this past Sunday. But here's where it gets even crazier. Dr. Helen Fisher at Rutgers studied this. She actually put people who were in love in a brain scanner, and then she put people who had just found their dream home in the same scanners. The results? Identical brain activity. The exact same regions light up. But here's the real kicker, oxytocin, the bonding hormone is what we call it. The same chemical that bonds mothers to baby, the same chemical released during intimate times. Your brain releases it when you start touching things, and it works the same when you're at the house, running your hand along the counter or opening closets or testing doorknobs. I don't know. Actually, I had a client, we'll say her name's Marie. She was an aerospace engineer, pure logic, right? Well, she went into this 1920s house and she touched the doorknob. It was like original crystal or something. And she went, she later told me it felt like the house was holding my hand. Sounds poetic, but the real thing that was happening was oxytocin. Here's what we've discovered. You're not falling in love with the house. You're actually falling in love with who you imagine you'll become in the house. Your brain creates what neuroscientists call a prospective memory, which is basically the future memory that feels real now. You see the kitchen and your brain instantly creates the dinner parties you'll throw, the cookies you'll bake, the wine you'll spill on the counter laughing with friends who don't exist yet. Your hippocampus, your memory center, literally can't tell the difference between real memories and imagined futures. So that life that you're picturing, your brain thinks it's already happening. But here's the terrifying part. You remember those brain scans that looked like people in love? Well, they also looked identical to something else not so good, which was addictions, like cocaine addictions, the same reward pathways, the same compulsive behaviors, the same withdrawal when you can't have it. And that's probably why you might be checking Zillow at 2 a.m. to see if it's still available, or driving by the house just to take another look. Or maybe it's even you get physically angry when someone else schedules a showing, or maybe even feel actual grief if somebody else buys it before you. You're not being dramatic. You're actually in withdrawal. And this is honestly where people are making expensive mistakes, because a brain in love is one that can't think straight. So studies show that when you're in house love, you start overestimating a house's value. You'll ignore red flags, or maybe you'll start making offers, waiving all kinds of contingencies like inspection and appraisals. It's kind of like dating someone and ignoring the fact that they're 45 years old and living in their mom's basement and they have a jar of toenails. Love can make you a little stupid, but house love will make you broke. And believe it or not, it gets even deeper. Your attachment style, it shows up with this too. So if you have a secure attachment style, then you'll fall in love reasonably. You'll be able to walk away if you need to, but anxious attachment, you'll probably fall pretty hard, right? You're going to go multiple offers, desperation, this is the only house for me. If you're avoidant, you'll probably find flaws in the house, no matter which one it is. Nothing's really quite right. You're probably trying to protect yourself from a commitment. And then disorganized attachment. You'll probably fall in love with houses you can't afford, or houses that need too much work. You're recreating chaos. So how do you date houses without losing your mind? Well, step one is recognize the high, right? When you feel that rush, you got to name it. Say, oh, that's just the dopamine talking. Give yourself a couple hours before we make an offer, which is just enough time for those chemicals to stop screaming at you, but not so long that you might lose out if it is a multiple bid situation. Second, maybe we can bring a designated pessimist, right? Someone who won't get high on your house supply, right? And we got to make sure it's an unbiased third party, right? We're not going to bring your dad who thinks it's 1985 and houses are still supposed to cost $30,000. That's just not going to be helpful. But an unbiased third party is going to help you see the water stains when maybe you're seeing stars. Number three, maybe don't touch anything when you go into the house. I know it seems silly, but I'm serious. Keep your hands in your pockets. We don't want to have any oxytocin bonding with doorknobs. You can fall in love with the features later. And number four, this one's pretty cool. Write a breakup letter. Basically, before you make an offer, write down 3 reasons that you could walk away. And if you can't think of 3, then you might be a little too high to buy. Here's the thing. Falling in love with a house. It's not a bad thing. It is a human reaction when we feel strongly about something. It's your brain trying to push towards growth, towards better, towards more. But now you know what's happening, and you can feel those feelings without losing the logic. You can love a house without completely losing yourself in it. You can both honor your emotions and protect your future. Your brain is wired to fall in love with possibility, and it's a beautiful thing, but your bank account is wired for reality. When you find a house that lights up your brain, let it. Feel the feelings, imagine your future, dream the dreams, then come back down to earth and say, do I love this house, or do I love who I hope I'll become? Because you can become that person in any house. The house doesn't make you, you make the home. Comment below, have you ever fallen in house love? What happened? Did you buy it? Did you regret it? Did it transform your entire life? I read all these stories. And if this just explained why you can't stop checking Zillow at midnight, then maybe share this, right? Your house addicted friends will probably thank you later for the intervention. I'll see you at the closing table.